Best concert I've ever been to. There is a wow, there's some good ones that I've been to. I got a couple that come into mind here. There was a concert years ago I went to. I don't think this is my favorite one, but it's on that list. It's on that short list. This concert I went to was Nas and Damian Marley. And you were basically taking one of my favorite hip hop artists of all time in Nas and one of my favorite reggae artists of all time in Damian Marley. They had an album that came out together. It was a phenomenal album. And it was such a cool show because it was an outdoor venue. It was actually over at Harris Resort SoCal, which is one of the resorts and properties out there, kind of in between. You could call it like Temecula areas where they're located, northern San Diego. I got to hear all of Nas's classic songs. I got to hear all of Damian Marley's classic songs, and then I got to hear them together in their the songs that they had put together in their album as well. So that's one of the best I went to. Let me give you another one because I got a few here that I want to hit on. I got to see Lauryn Hill at the Hollywood Bowl. It's one of the best shows I've ever been to. Lauryn Hill is phenomenal. She's one of my favorite artists. Love me some Lauryn Hill. She was great. And then the other one of my favorite reggae artists is an artist. He's an OG. He's probably in his mid 70s. And it was the last show he was going to perform. I don't know if it was the last show he was going to perform in California or he was going to perform in the States, but it was at the YouTube Theater, which is, you got SoFi Stadium, and then there's this like 6,000, less than that, a really kind of intimate venue. 6,000 is not that intimate, but it's a pretty intimate venue. Burning Spear, just an OG in the reggae world. And I got to see him perform for a good hour and a half, 2 hours. So those are a couple of my favorite shows. By the way, great question. Phenomenal question. That had me thinking a little bit there too. All right, let's get this one. Andrew, appreciate the Ask Slee here. By the way, this is a perfect time. If people are interested, they want to hang out, awesome. If you don't, it's all good. We'll get into some of these and then we'll call it a day. Slee, what do you do on your off time to relax and get away from sports? Looking for suggestions right now. Obsessed with NBA and Lakers. You know what I find myself doing a lot of? I like being outdoor. So I don't care what it is. If I'm taking the dog and taking him to a park and we're there for 30 minutes throwing the ball around. If I go for, I think I told you guys this, I'm training for a half marathon. So I do spend kind of more of my time now running. And I don't take my phone with me. I don't take headphones with me. I don't take anything. I just run. That's kind of a nice way to kind of clear my mind up a little bit. Anything I could do with my girl, go to a restaurant, go to a movie. I still like going to movie theaters. A lot of people, I don't know. Once COVID hit, did people just stop going to theaters? I still love going to theaters. So that's another thing that I do. Go see family, hang out with family. I think those are all things that I find myself doing. Okay, let's get a couple more Ask Slees in here. Burn and Spear. Yep. Nas and Damian Marley. Okay, some people are giving theirs Up in Smoke tour. Okay. Best concert, Big Sean 2015 Grammy show at House of Blues. All right, people are kind of throwing in theirs. I like that. Yeah, and here's the funny thing with me with reggae. I like roots reggae, which is kind of like this more old school 70s and 80s, probably my favorite era of reggae. Just really good music. Hits the soul, man. Hits the soul. Kwali's a great one. You're right about that. I was going to mention Kwali because I did see Mos Def and Talib Kweli together, but that was years back. I saw Kweli a couple years ago too, just randomly. He was performing in San Diego. All right, let's see what else we got here. I refuse to answer that question. I refuse to answer that question. All right, good. A lot of people here, no burning spear. I like that. That makes me feel good. No, I have not been. Let me actually show you guys something. Here, let me find this here real quick. I just picked up and left. See how quick I just leave you guys? Well, I'm going to show you guys something. So I bought my first record. This was, let's call it, I went to a show. There's a really good artist, Micah Shemaiah, who's a phenomenal artist, reggae artist as well. Probably a little bit more not as well known as he should be. He performed in San Pedro, kind of by the docks. This was about a week, kind of like a little bit of a, not really a reggae, it was kind of a reggae hip hop festival. There were some good artists performing. First record I ever bought was his. I just bought his record. And he was nice enough, cool as hell, signed it. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to start buying more records. You guys want a good record? Let me tell you guys right now. You guys don't need to go get a record. You go listen to it on YouTube or whatever the case is. Look this man up, Micah Shemaiah. Phenomenal. Kind of a great mix of, it is reggae, but it also has got phenomenal hip-hop type of beats. I think you guys will like it. He's phenomenal. I mean, just as good as it gets. Any non-sports podcasters you enjoy? I find myself in the world of news. I go to news. I find myself, my favorite, I would tell you guys, it's kind of funny because part of my wanting to also just kind of, hey, let's see what I can do on YouTube. I consume a lot on YouTube. There's a really good podcast. They do a daily show that's just covering news. And guys, it's news. Like, you can't get any more in the weeds of news. But I like it because I feel like they're kind of more towards the center. It's called Breaking Points. Crystal and Sagar. Breaking Points. It's a really, really good one. So I do find myself, when I'm not listening to sports, I find myself going more towards news. So, Ashley, what's been up with Cousin Slee? Cousin Slee is in the chat, just so you guys know. But I kind of like the incognito of not really knowing. But he is in the chat. All right, let's see what else we got here. I like kind of the bullshit conversation with you guys here. This is good. How long do you go for a run? Like 4. Get a good 4 in there. My pace is the slowest pace ever. Slee, favorite sneaker or basketball shoe? I was never a sneaker guy. Just never was. To this day, I'm looking there. I'm like, how much those cost? Yeah, it's not happening. I will tell you this. I got invited one time to Nike had invited me to an event. This is when I was doing Lakers Talk, pretty early on when I was doing Lakers Talk, and I had a contact at Nike. They invited me to an event, and it was a Kobe release for one of his shoes, and it was the Silver Mambas. I rocked those things for a long time when I played basketball. Those were phenomenal shoes. Had the proper ankle support. They looked badass. So I would say that's probably my favorite shoe. And I got them for free. So, I mean, listen, I get something for free. What are you going to think? That doesn't climb in my rankings? Of course it climbs in my rankings. All right, let's see what's going on here. I don't know why I knew Slee was a Talib fan. Talib Kweli was unbelievable. Slee, you missed ESPN. What's the biggest perk? I got to be honest with you. I think 15 years at one company and in one office, it was a really tough decision when it was all going on. But after it was done and like it was getting further and further behind me, I knew it was the right decision, if that makes sense. Every single day, I'm learning something different here, and I got plans for this channel. I got, I think the good thing with my background is I got so much experience in the sales game, in the audio game. Now I'm learning as much as I can in the podcast game. There's a way that I'm going to link all of these back together. It will just take a second to do so. But I think sometimes you just kind of know a chapter is done. And I think the further and further I get away from it, I have absolutely no regrets. And so, yeah, I mean, listen, can you miss some people that you used to work with? Of course. Are there times I miss the Lakers radio broadcast and sitting there at an arena and doing the pregame show with Michael Thompson and getting a chance to have Dominique Wilkins on or Stu Lance on or some of these other guys? Of course, there's a feeling that comes to that. And there's, a little bit of an ego play that comes to that as well. But I'm kind of still able to do everything that I was doing before. I'm still kind of feeding the soul. I'm able to kind of create these things on my own. And I still have a good enough relationship with the Lakers where I can do a post-game show from the arena and everything else. So that's probably the biggest explanation on it. Biggest perk was freaking the Disney card. Walk into Disneyland anytime I want, and I could take family. I didn't care about going, but nieces and family members cared about going. I'll tell you that. I refuse to answer that question. I refuse. Talk to my attorney. Call Brad Wallace of the Wallace firm. I'm answering no more questions. All right, let's see what else we got here. Kostas, how are you training for the half marathon? Do you have a specific plan? That's what I do. I pray. I just say, don't take out my calf. Certain amount of miles a week you have to run. So I'm probably doing, let's call it 20 miles a week. So you got like a 4, maybe a 5 in there, another 4, and then Saturdays are supposed to be your long run. If I don't have a show on Monday, it's because my longest run is going to be this Saturday, and I didn't make it. So then, so after that, then Sammy will be taking over. Then I'm out. All right, let's see a couple more of these. It's kind of funny. Some of these questions on here, it's like, I talk about, do I not talk about? We'll just keep things moving. So you watching any TV shows? I get caught up on? I just watch on, a lot of time I'm just on YouTube. Yesterday, I opened up Netflix for the first time. I watched the series. It was not a fun series. It was, I'd have to get exactly what the show was called. Let me see. It was kind of more of like a crime, like one of those. Let me see if I could get the exact show. And I think you guys would know what I'm talking about. But this is what it was. If you guys remember, there's that gal, Gabby Petito, and she was kind of a blogger, and she was it was a 3-part series. Fortunately murdered by her boyfriend. And it was a really big story that was going on nationally. They were looking for her, searching for her body. Occasionally on Netflix, I'll watch stuff like that, maybe some documentaries. But that one I just watched yesterday, so I'm just pointing that out. All right, let's see what else we have here. How tall are you? 6'6". 6'6". Yep. 6'6". I was in the G League, and then I had an ankle sprain. I was the oldest player actually in the G League. I was a walk-on in the G League for the Sixers. But 6'6", crazy crossover. Euro step. They've never seen a Euro step like that before. I ran the 40 in. What Dion run the prime? What did Prime run the 40 in? He was like a 4.2. I was like a 4.37 was my yeah. There we go. All right, here we go. Let's see what else we got here. So that's the Netflix part. But I have not been watching a lot of Netflix. Here's good Ashley. By the way, it's the longest Ashley we've ever had here, but it's kind of funny. It's kind of fun. Ashley, are you more of a point guard or a shooting guard when you play pickup ball? Probably more of a point. I'm a very unselfish basketball player, which I think goes to the trait of a point guard. Maybe not in today's NBA. Maybe not in today's NBA. Some people, I'm obviously way behind here, but the Kobe shoes people are looking at right now. Literally the exact same person. Literally the exact same person. By the way, that's how you got to do it. You can't be can't be different. I got to be honest with you. Like, I think I would really, really struggle if I'm not just myself, which I think had something to do with having some success when I was, went on air. All right, let's see here. What else we have here? Sliwa was a healthy ankle away from dominating the NBA. Please don't believe my 6'6". Please don't believe that. All right, 6'5". They listed me at 6'6", but without shoes, I'm 6'5". All right, I think we're good. I think we're good. All right, that was fun, everybody. I appreciate that. That was fun. Look, this gets me the Wednesdays. That's what I want to do on Wednesdays. I just want to have one day a week where we just ask, some questions. I really, really like that people were asking some of the questions. The concert question was phenomenal. I'm telling you guys, listen to me. I'm telling you guys again. Michael Shemaya. Phenomenal. Really, really good. All right, if you enjoyed this clip and you want more, just subscribe to the channel. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. is the Sliwa Show. And then after every Lakers game, post-game show right here.